Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Um, here to do another movie review, which back to doing another movie review, but it's what I said right off the bat is that I already last night I did this review though, but my internet cut off on me, um so I wasn't unable to upload it. So I'm just here redoing it, So this is another do-over. And I'm getting back to reviewing another cartoon film, and this is from a classic character that I always enjoyed growing up watching, especially with me and my brother on the Saturday nights back in our days, and that is Scooby-Doo. Reviewing a Scooby-Doo film, and it's Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, released in slow down my fingers for a second. Released in 1998. This one was released direct to video, and it was the first film to be released direct to video. And the film was critically acclaimed. It got a lot of praise, and it started a whole stream of Scooby-Doo direct to video films. So which there are still. I think it's still going. It's still going on. Still more direct to video films of Scooby-Doo. Then it also led to another TV show, What's New Scooby-Doo, and I always enjoy this film, um, and reading like I said, and reading up how it was critically acclaimed. It has 7.6 on IMDb and has 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, and looking upon its reception, this film was praised, due to its um animation, story, and the voices, and also that for being much more darker than the series, and which I said, I so well I did in my previous review, my previous review Pooh's Great Adventure: The Search for Christopher Robin. Well, that film got negative feedbacks because it was darker than it usually was, Which to me, like I said in my review of that, to me, I think this is a little bull, because I was never scared by the dark images, and you can see it back back when the film came on direct to video, When I saw that never did bother me seeing all of them. I never saw what was so scary about it. So that film got negative feedbacks, because it was darker than it usually was, which okay, they took a leap of it, trying to make it darker than usually was, but that didn't work, It got feedback saying, oh, it's too young, too scary, it'll scare the little kids, which I don't know. I'm just like whatever on that, But this got praised for being darker than usual was because it's Scooby-Doo, it's supposed to be like that, But I'm just throwing it out though, so um. So, but it started, but like I said, it got praised enough and it started all those stream of direct-to-video Scooby-Doo films, in which there was a lot of a lot of ones that I like, and I like that, especially this has always been my favorite one though. But then I liked a few ones, the next three that came after this one, like the Witch's Ghost and Alien Invaders and Cyber Chase, I haven't seen all of them though, but but probably those are probably the ones certain ones I just don't care for, But there are the newer ones that I do like. I do like the one when Where's My Mummy and Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King, And there's another one I wanted to get on DVD, because it was called Scooby-Doo and the Phantasaur, It was like a ghost dinosaur, So I don't have that one, but I would like to get that one because it's a dinosaur, Scooby-Doo and the Phantasaur, I think it was called. So, uh, so again, so now getting into the plot, and also, oh yeah, one other thing that this was dedicated in the memory of Don Messick, who was the original voice of Scooby-Doo on the show, which he died a year before this film was released, Yeah, would you know? Cause I always liked Scooby-Doo, you know, and the original voice was really memorable, you know. So saying that. So now getting into the plot of the film. The film opens up with the gang at a spooky castle. They're being chased by this green monster, you know, and which turns out it was a playback on a tape, you know, that Daphne is showing on our TV show, you know. She has one TV show, and all of that the gang are sort of separated though, but Fred you know has an idea to get them back together, you know, start they had want to head out to New Orleans, Louisiana, you know, and just going back what they usually do, you know, and on their way there they encounter, you know, some more fake monsters, you know, like this ghost hologram like in a swami, or this fake vampire in a graveyard, and this giant lobster monster in a seafood factory. And you know, while all that's going on, you have a song playing. You know, "The Ghost Is Here," which I do like that song. You know, which I listen to it. There's a different version. I listen to it though. It's not like what they use in the film though, but it's a different version though. But either way, I still like that song either way though. You know, and the ghost is here, and it's a crook in a suit. The ghost is here. You know. So then once the next day, the one day they're just stopping, and Daphne's wondering, I want to see a place that's really haunted, you know. And this girl by the name of Lena who tells them there is a place that's really haunted called Moonscar Island, and which she lives on there, you know, with her employer, you know, called Moonscar Island, which is named after a pirate named Morgan Moonscar, because he has like a moonscar shape on his face. So they say, oh sure, we'll go there, you know. And while they're going on there, they get on this ferry, and this ferryman Jacques, voiced by Jim Cummings, which he is voiced on a lot of TV shows and movies, you know. Um, and while they're riding on the ferry, there's Scooby-Doo sees this big catfish, and it sprays at him, and he falls in, and Shaggy falls in with him, and but they get saved by some alligators by this fisherman who was really unfriendly by the name of Snakebite Scruggs, who was voiced by Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill, who was Luke Skywalker in the original Star Wars films, you know, he voices this guy Snakebite Scruggs as this fisherman who's trying to catch this big catfish named Big Mona, and him and his hunting pig named Mojo. And he's like, you know, darn tourists, you know. Um, after that, then they arrive at the island. They're driving towards this house, you know, and the woman who owns this place, you know, by the name of Simone Lenoir, which is voiced by, really enough, is voiced by Adrienne Barbeau, who was in John Carpenter's The Fog and Escape from New York, and she was also in Wes Craven's The Swamp Thing and Stephen King's Creep Show, you know, the one that was directed by George A. Romero. So that's another nice bit of another casting, because you know she Adrienne Barbeau voices as this woman, uh, Simone Lemois. I think that's how her last name is pronounced. Um, and she has a bunch of cats, you know, and Scooby Doo doesn't like the cats, and he's chasing a bunch of them all over the place, and he's messing some gardening plants so that this gardener by the name of Bo, this new gardener is planting. He's angry, you know, like, hey, well, I just planted those, you know. Um, so you know, he apologizes, you know, and the one asking if this house place is really is haunted, and then they keep on saying so, you know, and Scooby and Shaggy, they go to the kitchen, to taste some of this gumbo, and well, there's like this floating mist that scrapes on a message on the wall saying "Go back." And they get afraid. They get afraid, and Velma takes like a spatula and just scrapes the wall where the message was, and there's this big sign. This is the name of Moonscar's pirate ship, because this the building was built using parts of the pirate ship, so that's why there's that name right there, the name of the pirate ship name. So then the Scooby Shaggy they go on a picnic, and the cats see him again, and see Scooby again. He chases the cats some more. But they run into the snake bite the fisherman, and he tells his pig to go get them, and then Scooby and Shaggy fall into this pit. They try to climb out of it, and they see they uncover like a skeletal arm, and this green light appears and resurrects the skeleton as which is Morgan Moonscar himself, but as a zombie. So they find the others, and they see there's nothing there, and Velma is becoming suspicious of the gardener, how he hasn't show up when the zombie shows up, calling him a suspect. Um, so later night, when they're having dinner, Scooby cannot eat in the house, so he and Shaggy goes and eats at the mystery machine, But then the cats appear again, so they drive off somewhere in the middle of the woods to eat peacefully. And while they eat some of these pot peppers, because there's also this pepper plantation that's around there, and so it's like that's like the hottest peppers in Louisiana. So they eat one, their mouths catch on fire. So as they go to drink some water, the green light appears again and resurrects more zombies, and while the house, they hear their screams, and they go to investigate, and Velma's still accusing Bo as being a suspect, and Fred and Daphne, they find the mystery machine, and Daphne like throws one of the zombies, to the ground, thinking that it's some person in a mask, and Fred, he he's pulling and ends up pulling the head completely off, and the zombie screws his head back on, and they all realize it's all real, it's not fake anymore, So they run, and they lose their video camera they've been filming, for Daphne's TV show, they lose it in some quicksand, and as they're running, there's that song "Terror Time." It's a terrifying time. I do like that song as well, but a different version though, not what they use in the film. Um, so as they're running, and they Fred, Daphne, they find Bo and Velma. They hear a scream back at the house, so they go back there, and while they're out there, they find Lena saying that the zombies dragged Miss Lemois away, dragged her away. They go to the secret tunnel underneath the stairs. But Velma figures that they've been lying, and of course they find out they're bad guys, and they use voodoo dolls like wax figurines, magic, the of themselves, the four of them, and they like you move them around, they move around, so they tie them up so they can't escape, tie the voodoo dolls up so they can't escape. And Simone Lemoyne, she explains that they've been doing this for 200 years, explaining that the story that all started with Morgan Moonscar, the pirates, where her and her people, they settle as this island as their home, and the pirates, they invade their home, while Simone and Lena, they got away, they saw their people getting killed by alligators, so they wanted to get revenge. Um, on the pirates, so the their cat god granted them their wish, by becoming cat creatures or werecats, how you call them, So they kill the pirates, but then they become these creatures permanently, and the only way to do that is to keep their immortality by draining more people, and that's how they become zombies. They've been doing this for the past over 200 years, and then they know then they come to realize that the zombies, they're just trying to warn them, so that wouldn't happen to them. But they didn't know they were just trying to scare them. So so they're about to be drained. They're about to be drained of their life until Shaggy and Scooby they stumble into their cave, always in the right place at the right time. Um, then and then and then also they become they fully oh well before that though they get before they come into the Shaggy and Scooby come to the cave they come across Jock who was also involved with them as well. He's he's also they gave him he wanted immortality as well, to lure more people with his ferry boat to lure more people to the island, so they gave him that. And then that's when they run back in the cave. So but eventually the people the guys they get free, and then like this always happens when they say they have to do this on a harvest moon. Like they have like a sundial, where the shadow of the moon is crossing past like midnight, the full moon. So eventually they stalled too much time, and eventually like the sundial goes past the full moon, and eventually all three of them they all just disintegrate, and the rest of the zombies their spirits fly their spirits fly away back to the I guess you could say back to the afterlife, I guess. you know so they're wondering what they're gonna do now, and it turns out that Bo is actually an undercover cop, who's been investigating the disappearances, on this island. And Daphne offers him to be a guest star and as host. Have you ever been on TV before? So, as they're as the next morning as they're about to leave, Scooby he goes and picks some more peppers to take with them. And as they're leaving, that Scooby he what do you say how he gets like he has his hands on the boat and his feet are on the dock. He gets stretched out and he goes flings himself flying across. And as they're leaving, the fisherman Snakebite as he belches to catch Big Mona in his net, Scooby flies by, and the fish jumps out of the net to back into the water, and Snakebite like darn tourists. And then it ends, with Scooby's about to eat a sandwich, and the cats see them that they want a sandwich. And that's the end of the movie. So yeah, so this is like I said, I've always enjoyed Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island. Me and my brother have always enjoyed this one. I would consider both our favorite as the direct-to-video Scooby-Doo films. So and let's see in the back here. There is not much for features. Just a movie trivia, featurette, character bios, interactive menus, and scene access. So this is not much for features though. And it's on for like about 77 minutes, but it goes by very fast. This is not too long. This is not too long of a movie at all. Oh, the voice cast was very good. Especially in the supporting cast. Jim Cummings, Mark Hamill, and Adrienne Barbeau. Then the main cast, was Scott Innes voiced Scooby-Doo, and then Billy West voiced Shaggy. And also Fred has been voiced by Frank Welker, who's been voices also on a lot of TV shows and films, and movies. And then later on, later on in films, Frank Welker will also voice not only Fred Jones but also Scooby-Doo as well. So yeah, so I've always enjoyed Scooby-Doo and Zombieland, and I don't know what more I could say. I would say it was a good, from back of the day of a good old fashioned Scooby-Doo show. I always loved the original show, the original series. And this is like an old good old fashioned Scooby-Doo movie. There's another, I like especially the old Scooby-Doo films, like Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. I always love that one. But this is also, but I was considered also a favorite Scooby-Doo film. And of course later on, then they came out with the live-action Scooby-Doo films. Which I'll get to those films in some other time though. So I would say, yeah, this is my review of Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and feel free to check it out for yourselves. If you're a Scooby-Doo fan, you'll like it. So that's pretty much it. So what do I say? Good cast, good story. I'm glad it got the praise, and that's it. And so that's my review for Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Thanks for watching, and take care. Stay tuned for the next movie review. Later.